Jamie Graham, for the second straight week, he's relying on his offense to get a score. Blivens is all alone to the left side. White gives it to him. Jump ball! Caught!
Flag on the
Touchdown,
field.
Lipscomb Academy. There is a flag on the field, but Cam Blivens, don't you dare tug on Super Cam's cape, because he will answer, swoop in, and save the day. Watch out for Keyshawn Bowman. He's one-on-one with Cam Blivens at the right side. Bottom of the screen. Jenkins under duress. He's nearly sacked. Floats it up. It's intercepted! It's Caleb Grooms, and he has room to run. Grooms up the sideline. Gets past Jenkins. Grooms at the 40, at the 30. He's still going, and he's pushed out of bounds. Ball at the 22-yard line. Officially a gain of 13. White to pass it again. White under duress. Evades a defender. White on the move. Fakes the play. What a spin move. He evades another one. J.C. White, magic man on the run. The Mustangs need about a length of the football. It's fourth down in a few inches. It is all or nothing. White under center. They're trying to push him forward. Gets a shove from behind. He's not there yet. He's not there yet. I don't think he got there. No, he did not. The Raptors stand tall. First and goal from the 6-yard line. Manoa Crockett still in the backfield with White. They hand it off to him. Manoa Crockett scampers his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Lipscomb Academy. It runs through the bloodline in the Crockett family from Z to Manoa. And little brother finds the end zone for the first time in his varsity career. Empty backfield for Lipscomb Academy. The tailback Z Crockett is out wide, bombing your screen. White is going to take off and run this himself. J.C. White with some space. J.C. White breaks past the defender, pushing his way forward. He's still going. J.C. White, a man not to be denied. Touchdown, Mustangs. 3 to the right. Cam Blivens, lone man to the left. 3rd and 10. White takes a snap, airing it for Blivens once again. He catches it, and he survives the hit! Oh, Cam Blivens, you son of a gun!
No way! Cam Blivens, what a catch!
Same play, same man. Look at the hit from Pollard. Dad would have been proud of that one, but he couldn't break it up from Cam Blivens. 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 31. J.C. White fakes the handoff to Crockett. Looking, gonna uncork one in the direction of Jackson Spencer, who catches it. Spencer still on his feet, and Jackson Spencer in the end zone. Touchdown, Mustangs. Oh, how did he do it? The Mustangs have not led yet tonight. They're looking to lead it when it matters most. 3rd and 10. White, play action, in trouble. White is sacked on the play. Matt Anderson, the senior linebacker. One play to decide it. 2 wideouts to each side. Ball is set over at the left hash.
Cruz is out there. Cruz Kelly, one-on-one Cam Blivens.
Here we go. Man in motion. Babalola waiting. Gonna throw it to the back of the end zone. It is caught! Taylon Vaughn wins it for Ravenwood! White has time. Scrambles right. Looking downfield. Deep pass. End zone. Fowler. Caught!
There he is.
Touchdown Mustangs! Dante Fowler. Gonna try to have to find a way to remedy that here tonight as they find themselves down by a touchdown with 6:20 to play in quarter number 1. We'll see J.C. White in the offense coming out for the second time tonight.
Yeah, and honestly, not much mistakes on the last possession besides that one false start. I mean, obviously you don't get the first down, but, I mean, they were basically there, so just got to build off of the last drive.
1st and 10 from the 20. White hands this off to the tailback, Lincoln Higginbotham, gets a nice gain, tumbles his way towards about the 29-yard line as we'll take another look at it here.
Yeah, and look at this here. He just follows the lead blocker and then cuts to the outside when he realizes his His right lane is blocked up with gold helmets, and he finds himself about 9 yards there. Higginbottom, obviously somebody who's just blossomed in the past 4 or 5 games after Manoah Crockett obviously got injured.
Yeah, defensive back, a junior, having to go back to halfback. Second down and short, they find Cam Blivens. Blivens gets the first down and a little bit more, stays on his feet towards the 40 and is pushed out of bounds. But a first down for the Mustangs on the legs of Cam Blivens.
And, I mean, the elusivity of Cam Blivens is something that's always going to be underestimated there, especially on the sideline. When you get a nice push on him, you think, oh, he'll just go out of bounds. No, he's going to keep those legs churning and keep running and jump over you, duck around your arms, and he certainly got many more yards there than he should have.
First down and 10 from the 42-yard line. Mustangs are right back around where they were on the first drive where it stalled out, as it's a handoff to Higginbotham. Gets past the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of about 1 or 2 on that play.
I mean, not too bad for first down. You'd like at least 3 on the run there, but something manageable here. 2nd and 8.
5:15 to play here in this opening quarter. CPA was able to draw first blood on a 34-yard touchdown run from the senior Preston Patterson. Ball spotted on the Lipscomb Academy 44. White to throw. Looks to his left. Flushes out of the pocket, still looking, finds Higginbotham, and Higginbotham's on the move, gets past the first down marker and into CPA territory. Lincoln Higginbotham making his presence known early on.
And Brandon, all that is just taking what the defense gives you. I mean, if they're not going to cover him, just throw the ball to him and get the easy yardage. I mean, he's got at least 15 yards of separation there from the safety or the corner over there, and he takes as much as he can get there and gets the first down.
Fowler in motion. Is going to be a handoff once again. The Higginbotham evades a couple of defenders, gets just past the original line of scrimmage, but is eventually met and brought down.
It's a good job of Lincoln Higginbotham doing the best cleanup job there of a broken play and getting around a couple of tacklers to make sure he gets forward yardage there.
And Higginbotham, the stats don't do him a lot of justice. He's carried the ball 29 times coming into tonight, 83 yards. An average about 3 yards per carry, but a touchdown. He has really found his place in this role back at that tailback spot. And he has gotten better and better as the season has gone on. As Cam Blivens is going to take this direct snap here for the Mustangs. Blivens going to fake the throw and take off and run. Pushing his way towards the 45 and is finally put to a stop. As J.C. White will now trot his way back out onto the field. Third down and 7.
Cam Blivens is always going to be one of those dual-threat guys. Obviously, before J.C. White comes into the program over the summer, we saw him taking reps at QB1, and the plan was for him to play there. Obviously, he'd rather play receiver, as you see now, and when J.C. White came in, he took over that QB position. But, I mean, it's always in the Mustangs' back pocket to put him out there at QB, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, Cam Blivens, how about this, Gideon? He's the only player in the state with 50-plus receptions and 2+ interceptions. That's 3rd down and 7. White looking downfield, going to let this one rip to Blivens. He caught it on the bobble! Oh, the concentration from Cam Blivens, and it's a first down for the Mustangs.
And number 26 on CPA can't believe that. He threw his hands up. That's going to be Saxon Clements on the coverage. Almost had the pick there, but threw it into Cam Blivens' hands. Oh, my goodness.
Blivens pushed out of bounds at the 32-yard line. First down, the Mustangs knocking on the door. White looking, has a man, finds him as Dante Fowler takes a big hit, but gets right up, and it draws a flag after the hit from Weston Williford. We'll take another look at the replay here.
I mean, this is another instance. Just take what the defense gives you. JC doesn't see it just yet. Then he gets it there. A little bit of head. Yeah, and that's all shoulder to head. Great job by the ref there on the flag.
Illegal helmet contact against Williford, so not only will the play stand, but that will push the Mustangs up even further. A 15-yard penalty will have the ball spotted at around the 12-yard line.
And Brandon, that hit has no place in playoff football. I mean, especially when you're open space alone there. I know you have that stress, you want to get that tackle, but I mean, you cannot eat. When you launch yourself up in the air, I mean, come on now. You can't go shoulder to helmet contact and right in front of the ref and expect no flag.
And obviously no ill intent, but it's a fast-moving game, and that hit a little bit too high from Williford. So first down and 10 from the 12. Mustangs right outside the end zone, looking to respond after the CPA touchdown. A pitch out to Z Crockett. Up the left sideline, gets through one defender, but is pushed out at close to the 10-yard line.
Always be watching Blivens there. He was lined up way out in the numbers, the opposite side of the field alone with the men. I mean, that's never a bad shot to take out there.
2:29 to play here in this first quarter. Mustangs
looks like that
10 yards away from the end zone.
Move back a little bit there.
Yeah, it looked like it was around the 10-yard line, maybe the 9.5 where Crockett was pushed out. They officially rule it a 2nd down and 8, so a 2-yard gain there on that halfback pitch to Z Crockett. He's in the backfield with White to his right. Punch set here for the Mustangs.
Chaffin now all the way down at the numbers.
As this is Cam Blivens on the keeper. Blivens cuts
space
up to his left side. Blivens evades a tackler, pushing his way forward to the end zone. Touchdown, Lipscomb Academy. Cam Blivens in for 6.
There it is. There's your dual X-Factor Swiss Army knife player, Cam Blivens. Super Cam takes the snap on the Wildcat. I mean, this is even Wildcat. He's basically a QB, and he takes it. Obviously, originally he's trying to go up to the right, and then he sees all these yellow helmets, and he cuts the other way, finds that open space, and muscles his way in around those two defenders.
Bennett Johnson out to kick the extra point. High snap, good hold. Johnson's kick through the uprights, and good. We are knotted up at 7. A 10-yard touchdown rushing score from Cam Blivens. How about this, Gideon? That's Blivens' first rushing touchdown of the season, so he now has a receiving touchdown, a passing touchdown, a punt return touchdown, and a rushing touchdown. He also has 3 interceptions to his credit as well. He is Mr. Do-It-All. On a night where Lipscomb Academy brings past and present together, the Mustangs take the field for the 2nd time in the 2025 season, hoping to bounce back after a tough loss at home versus Macaulay a week ago. To do that, they'll have to take down the Raptors of Ravenwood, who come off of a statement win in Mississippi last week and look to take down yet another tough foe on their schedule, only this time in the Music City. We've got 2 of the top programs in Middle Tennessee facing off for the first time ever. It's Ravenwood versus Lipscomb Academy, Raptors versus Mustangs, and we'll have it all for you right here live on the Lipscomb Academy Football YouTube channel. You're looking live at the Reese Smith Athletic Complex here in Nashville. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Brandon Bigsby, alongside my broadcast partner, Gideon Carter. Gideon, the Mustangs, a tough loss last week against Macaulay, a 56-20 result. Yet again, however, the back-to-back state champs for a reason, a big opportunity for them to bounce back here against the Raptors here tonight.
Exactly. You have a wonderful opportunity ahead of you here if you're the Mustangs. So much presence on this team, and they're really hungry for a win after that loss last week. I know it wasn't the greatest showing for the Mustangs, but like I said, they're definitely ready to come back and get a win here at home.
The Mustangs being such a young team, 42 underclassmen on this roster. We saw that week 1 performance, a good opportunity to get some of the jitters out. You're playing a top-end team. The big question, however, for this group, what does that next step look like? What did they learn from that week 1 performance, and how big of an improvement do we see from them against a tough Ravenwood team here in week 2 of the season?
I mean, I see this game. You really got to focus on that offensive line and keeping J.C. White not mobile necessarily. He did very well in the pocket, and outside of it last game, ran all the way across the field many times and made many great plays. But again, I mean, when you're running around and you're tired, you're not going to make the best throws. And we saw an interception last week, and I really just think if we can keep him inside the pocket, and if that offensive line can hold just for maybe a couple seconds longer, it'll lead to a lot more offense here.
You talked about J.C. White, his first start as a Mustang last week, had some highs and lows. You look at the final stats for him a week ago, 28 for 51 passing, 364 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He only ran officially for 8 yards on 2 carries, but if you counted all the scrambling in the backfield, that probably would have felt more like 800. But nevertheless, you saw some of the positives from the Mustangs offense, and not only that, but they also did not give up a sack. So despite the tough loss, still some positive things this offense has to feel good about coming up in this tough game.
And we saw some great wide receiver performances from both Dante Fowler and Cam Blivens. Both of them had at least one touchdown reception in clutch time, mind you, and played great. I believe Cam Blivens was somewhere around 200 yards. Is that correct, Brandon?
Yeah, 200 yards, and he also was a candidate for the Offensive Player of the Week by the Tennesseans. So a performance that not only was held in high regard in the building, but also in the Nashville area in general.
Mm-hmm. And 200 yards as a wide receiver, and your team only scoring 20 points, not very common. You don't see that very common. So going into this game, Lipscomb looking to finish off their drives with 7 points more often and get a dub here.
You turn things over to the other side, the adversary in Ravenwood, 13-1 a season ago. That lone loss coming in the state semifinals against Houston. This is the Ravenwood team coming in with loads of momentum. Went all the way down to Mississippi a week ago. Faced off against Madison Ridgeland Academy. That was a team that made it to the state semifinals in their region in Mississippi last season. Came back from a 17-point second quarter deficit to win that game 28-24. A state title is the goal for this team. They're looking for their first since 2015. If you want to make a statement, knock off a program like Lisbon Academy. That is going to be the goal for them tonight.
Definitely. And as I was talking about, if you were here on the broadcast with us against McCallie, I mentioned they had somewhere around 25 seniors, and I said that was a lot. This is a Ravenwood program with not 20, not 30, but 42 seniors. How does that affect like the gameplay, and what maturity level does this bring to this game?
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a really fun storyline to watch out for throughout our broadcast. You have the ultra-experienced Ravenwood team, 42 seniors, as you mentioned. Well, you flip over to the Lipscomb Academy side, it's the complete inverse of that, 42 underclassmen on the roster. So you're looking at opposites here facing off against one another. It's going to be really interesting to see how this Mustang squad handles a Ravenwood team that's been through pretty much any and all situations, not just in games, but together as a unit.